Good evening and welcome to Manchester United SA View. Thank you all for joining us. And just want to discuss, being on YouTube for the first time, and let's just see how this goes. I have started this channel to get my view and my opinion on what is happening with regards to Man United, and want to obviously open the floor to anyone that wants to join and have their discussions heard, and let's chat about it. Fantastic. So obviously this channel is all for Man United. Been supporting them for a good number of years now, watch them quite consistently. And I thought, let's get a different view on Man United, maybe someone from outside of England for a change. So I want to talk about the new season, 21-22. I think it's going to be probably one of the closest seasons so far. We stand a good chance. Hopefully we can keep it going until the end of January and not fall away. New transfers, Sancho, what a brilliant signing. I feel it's really, really going to relieve some pressure on Bruno and Pogba. Varane, sure, what a signing. What can we say about Varane? Won everything, World Cup winner, won multiple trophies with Madrid, Champions League, La Liga titles, and now he's coming to United in his prime, 28 years old. Brilliant, brilliant signing. Sancho as well. Not so much of a big winner in Bundesliga, but top assist maker, plenty of goals, creative from the right-hand side. He's more of a creator than running past people like Rashford or Martial, and he's got very, very good feet. What else? The youth. I think some youth need some decent game time this year. Probably a good couple of cup games. Toure and Ilanga played really, really well in the preseason. For what I could actually get. Obviously, in South Africa, we don't get a lot of the coverage of the preseason games unless it's shown on TV. So, other than that, it was pretty interesting. A couple of wins, a draw, and a big win. Now, the last one with Everton, a bit of the COVID scare, so we missed a game against Preston. And some other news. Looking for a midfielder. I believe we should actually get another midfielder, a holding midfielder at least, because I don't feel we should not be using Fred and McTominay again in the midfield. With Varane there now, we can push much higher up and don't have to hold hands with the defenders. So hopefully that will also alleviate pressure on the strikers not getting any service, because we sit so far back like we did last season. The gap between Fernandes and the striker is just so huge. He keeps having to drop in deep to get the ball to be more creative. So this season, as per the Everton game, Matic and Van der Beek, I think Van der Beek's going to have a big season. I think with him bulking up in the off-season and coming back from injury, coming back strong, looking really good. Him and Matic should start the season, the first 3 games. What do we got? Leeds, Southampton, Wolves. Leeds at home, Southampton away, and Wolves away. I think will be very good matches. Easy 9 points. We should get those 9 points if we play to the top of our form. Hopefully, we can integrate Varane into the team quite quickly. I know he has completed his medical, and he should be getting a shirt number. It should all be announced later on tonight. And hopefully, I can bring more on that at a later stage. So, like I was saying, this year, the season, I think it's going to be really interesting. City grabbing Grealish. Interesting signing. The record for the Premier League, £100 million. Where's he going to play, really? I don't see him fitting very well into that team. He's going to take the place of De Bruyne, Sterling. He does like playing on the left, so that's definitely Sterling's place. Are you going to move Sterling? Are you going to move Grealish? Going to change the whole formation? He's going to play a false 9. Then Chelsea, under Tuchel, did really, really well. Since he joined, got that team really well oiled, working together really nicely. Won the Champions League. Now Lukaku coming back. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. He did really well for us, and then he didn't do so well. I think he just didn't fit into Solskjaer's plans, to be perfectly honest. So interesting to see how he plays at Chelsea. Then Liverpool only got a defender, Konate. Getting Gomez and Van Dijk back is like having 2 new signings, but let's see how they are coming back from injury. two bad injuries as well that they received. Then Tottenham, not really a rival at this point in time. Kane wants to go. They don't let him go for anything less than 160 million in this market. COVID times, nobody has that kind of money. Then, obviously, one of the greatest players of all time leaving Barcelona due to financial reasons, which is also quite scary. The Liga looks like it's in quite a turmoil, especially Barcelona. I think Madrid will pull through. They've got enough financial backing. So yeah, Messi to PSG. That was quite a shock. I know a lot of teams, including us, were looking at him, but I don't think he would actually suit the Premier League. Not us, not now that we got Sancho. Where would he play, really? Can't take Sancho out of the team, not for that kind of money. And he's joined the Farmers League. Let's be honest, quick, easy league. They should win it by now. PSG last year was a bit of a freak season, losing a manager, getting Pochettino halfway through. Then, what else developing news? So Herrera, possibly coming back. You know, if we're not going to get anyone else, he's better than Fred. He's better than McTominay. Better than Matic. He can at least play every game. But he's 32. Is it really worth bringing him back at 32 years old, the way he left? I know it was mostly our fault. We didn't approach him soon enough to get that contract extension. While he would be crazy in the team right now, I think he would have really transformed our midfield last season if we had him. Who else? Ruben Neves. Now that's an interesting signing from Wolves. If we can get him, I think Neves trying to beat Pogba, or Neves trying to beat Bruno, because I think Pogba in his final year, running it down, we're going to have him for this year, and I think from January you'll start seeing his performances drop a bit, depending on the contract situation, obviously depending on where we are. If we're fighting for a title and we are thereabouts, I think possibly we just give him the money and he stays for another 3 years. He is 28 now, so it is the last contract that he's probably looking to get. And I don't think he would go to PSG. I really don't. Player of his caliber, the form that he can get to play the French league, which is not so competitive. I can only see him going two places, maybe Madrid for La Liga, just to say he's gone to Madrid and finished his career there, or Bayern Munich, to be perfectly honest. Not that it's really coming up. I don't know how he would fit into that Munich team. They don't really play with that kind of midfielder. And Camavinga, there's an interesting youth player. I think he would obviously make a huge impact in the team. I think he's a generational talent that needs to be nurtured. And just by looking at how Solskjaer runs the team, look at Greenwood, Diallo. I know we didn't use him a lot last season. I think the games that he did play, he was phenomenal. And I think he should get more game time this year. I don't think he should go out on loan. He needs to be playing competitive football. He should be fighting for a position with Sancho. Greenwood should move up front. Him and Cavani, and Martial and Rashford on the left. And then the interesting case of Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lings. What do you say? Phenomenal half season at West Ham. I think he should leave the club. Not because I don't like him, and I think he's brilliant. He's been quite an amazing squad player, but he doesn't really fit in. He's not really going to take Bruno out of the team. Only person that I can see playing in Bruno's position is Pogba. If Bruno needs a rest, and we can bring Pogba in with Van der Beek and Matic, or Pogba, Van der Beek, Fred. I don't know if we can play Fred and McTominay again. They just don't work well together. Matic obviously can't play every game. I think he's getting a bit long-legged. Mata as well can play number 10. He's a far better number 10 than Lingard. I wouldn't play Mata on the wing, especially on the right wing. He just doesn't have the pace. He's still a phenomenal player. He just doesn't have the legs. Never did really have the legs. We've always played him out of position at United. We've never really played that number 10 role. And now with Bruno coming in and the way Bruno plays, he has taken that position and made it his. Cavani, due to miss the first few games of the season, I do understand why. He did play in the Copa America, did pretty well. He's also a fairly injury-prone player. So him getting a little bit of extra rest training by himself. Obviously, he has to come back. He has to isolate COVID restrictions. I think, yeah, Jesse Lingard needs to go. He needs to go somewhere where he can get first team football. He did say he wants to stay and make his mark to get into the World Cup squad for England. So I don't know if he's going to do that playing on the bench for Man United. Really, I don't. Dan James, awesome system player. You know, he'll put in a shift. He always does. Energizer Bunny, as I would call him here. Really fast, average ball skills, can take a decent shot. Better on the left than on the right. Luke Shaw, wow, what a player. Him and Maguire, left-hand side of the defence, I think we sorted there. We don't have to worry about that. They started it last season, took it to England, played really, really well together. And I think we're just going to carry on. They're going to have a strong partnership depending on who's in front of Luke Shaw. If it is Martial, he's going to have his hands full. But when he's got Rashford does come back and really, really help. Same with Dan James. They are positionally better than Martial. Martial likes to go forward and take on players. Not really much of a defender. Right-hand side, Sancho and Diallo. Diallo, what a player. I think, like I said earlier, what we saw him do in the first couple of games that he did play, those crucial goals in Europe, just his ability to tear up the field with his technical ability. He just does what he thinks he can do. There's no limitation or stopping that boy. I think if he does go on loan, which I hope he doesn't, I think he needs to play a good few games for Man United. I think if he can learn from Sancho and learn from the guys again this year, he'll be more hungry. Just come back from the World Cup. Sorry, the Olympics. They did really, really well. Bailey as well, also played well in the Olympics. But Diallo, wow, what a player. I think he's got a bright, bright future ahead of him, and I really don't think we should let him go on loan. As for us saying that we kind of stopping transfers, I think they're probably going to pull something out of the hat like they always do. Transfer deadline day, signing, we're going to get someone. I hope it's a midfielder. I really don't want Kieran Trippier. I don't think we need to invest in someone that is going to be 31 for that kind of money. Well, let's go, yes, brilliant right back, but 5 years too late, perhaps. AWB, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think this year with Varane coming in, going to be next to him, you're not going to see him so much cutting in and leaving that space where he has to come back and make those Spider-Man tackles as he does. Brilliant one-on-one defender, probably the best one-on-one defender in the league. And I think he's also going to get a bright future. With Varane there, keeping his possession and positioning right, we should have quite a rock-hard defence. We won't ship so many goals this season, I don't think. And because we should play up higher in the field, like we did against Everton with the Matic van der Beek partnership, where Matic was pretty much the holding midfielder, and Van der Beek was more of a box-to-box, which I thought was amazing because they really, really complement each other. Even with Fernandes, technical player, can move the ball in and around the box, and just free up Bruno to actually just do what he does best, which is attack and create something out of nothing. And then, like I said, transfer deadline day, we probably should get a midfielder. Talks of Tolisso from Bayern Munich. Good price. Got a year left in his contract. I don't really think he'll suit the Premier League. He's a French player. Injury prone, just come back from a serious ACL. So moving him to one of the hardest and fastest leagues in the world will be interesting if we do get him. But I really hope we get Neves or Camavinga. Either one of the two. Neves will be brilliant. Premier League proven. He's only 24. You wouldn't think so, looking at him and how long he's been around. And I think if we get him and Bruno will actually have a brilliant relationship. He's not really a holding midfielder, but he can play that kind of role just due to his ability in tackling. Really good coverage coming back. Diego Dalot, another interesting one. Youngster still, I think he's only 21. Bright future ahead of him. I think going forward, I think possibly if you really, really want to do anything with him, you could convert him into a right wing. His going forward and his attacking is brilliant. While he can whip in across from that right hand side, and he's got a good right foot as well. Seen a few of the goals that he has scored. The way he played for Milan last season, I think, was brilliant for his progression and how he's going to grow. Now the goalkeeping story. Henderson and De Gea. Obviously, we're going to start with De Gea due to Henderson picking up COVID and still trying to recover from COVID. So De Gea is going to probably try and make the position his, so he stays in the league. And then we're probably going to rotate like again last season, which I feel is not the right or ideal situation. You can't have two top-class goalkeepers in one fighting for one position. It is very much a confidence position. The more game time you get, the better you do, the more confident you are. Simple as that. But if you're getting changed every week by somebody else, so if you make a mistake, then you know next week, oh, you know what, I'm out. Then Henderson's in, and vice versa. So, you know, it'll bring up a lot of errors with both of them. And we don't really want to have that. If we're going to have such a strong defense, I think De Gea will probably be better shot stopper. Henderson probably better positioning, in my opinion. And I'm open to any discussions that anyone wants to bring forward. Send a chat. Let's see what everyone has to say. And the Glazers. Let's talk about the Glazers. You know, they did have that fan forum where they promised they won't take any dividends. And just the other day we heard 8 million taken out in dividends again. So I think, you know what? Don't like them. They've been around 16 years now. We won titles underneath them, so we can't say we haven't. Okay, we did have Sir Alex, and he just made an average team really great. It was his just magic touch. But right now, I think two things are going to happen. They're going to continue doing what they're doing. They're not going to change. Only one way to get rid of them is with what we did last season, protesting for the Super League, which I think was a bunch of rubbish. Then they're just trying to create an American sport, or trying to create English and a very English football and European football into an American kind of standard. So you're always in, never out, lots of money. Doesn't matter how you do, you will always be in it. Just a conference. It's actually not even a league, it's a conference. Just how American sports always played. It's always the same teams. And then they just have a roster and the teams pick who they want or pay for who they want from another team. It's no different, except there's just no, how can I say? There's none of that what if. So if you lose in the Champions League, you're out. That's it. Done and dusted. You move down to the Europa League, depending on how far you're in, or you're out completely. That's more exciting. So you have to play to survive. If you don't survive, you're out. You have to wait till the next season. Super League, nah, not interested. Don't want it. Don't care who you are. What a waste of time. You won't even get the sponsors. People will pull out because it just won't be worthwhile supporters even watching. Nobody will watch it. That's the reason why they had the backlash that they did. Cancelling the Liverpool game, blocking the roads. I thought it was brilliant. And good for us supporters for standing up. Unfortunately, not much we could do from lovely South Africa. So I am coming from lovely South Africa. Bit of winter now. Europe is taking our summer, but we'll get it back. I'm not worried about that. And I think that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about in my first video. Hopefully I get some likes. If you do like the video, please do like. And leave some comments so I can come back and we can talk about how you guys feel about this upcoming season. I think we're going to have a great season. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually quite excited for it this year. First time in a long time. The signings we've got, just the investment and how quickly it was done. And we actually got our first choice targets for a change, which is interesting. We didn't get fourth or fifth best, which is ideal. So I think Solskjaer should be very, very happy. Hopefully he can rotate his squad this season and not give his favourites all the playing time. And I really hope he mixes up that midfield and Donny gets some decent game time, because I think with him, Matic and Bruno, we can actually have quite a good start to the season. Like I said, my predictions for Saturday's game against Leeds, it's not going to be the same as the 6-2 at Old Trafford. Bielsa won't ever play like that again against us. We saw that when we went to Leeds. But I think we should win this game. Even though we won't be as sharp, they have had a better pre-season. But with the players we have, probably Sancho will not start per se, but he will come on. He'll make a difference. Bruno will start. I think we're going to probably play with James just because Marshall's not sharp yet. Greenwood should play up front and on the right. And yeah, no, that should be front. Bruno, Matic, Donny, Luke, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It'll be Lindelof. Unfortunately, we'll have to start with Lindelof the season because Varane won't be ready. If he is, I would play him. Like I said, that should be announced. He should get the number 4 shirt like he plays for France. 5 is Maguire's, so you can't get that. But no, definitely number 4. I feel he should get the number 4 shirts. And Maguire, obviously, NK and goal. And I think we can have an excellent season. And thank you very much for watching. And I will see you guys on Saturday after the game.